last time on the Power Within Shadow Dragon Association. I didn't actually get to do a write-up, but I think we can bullshit it. Dekanga had a dream. His ancestors told him that his brother was wandering the astral plane and that he was in pain, and they thought that Dekanga could help him. With this knowledge, Dekanga woke up, seeked out the SDA, and asked them for their assistance. With little hesitation, they agreed. With this, he taught them how, well, he didn't really teach them, I guess, but he showed them the way with his ritual to take their spirits to the astral plane, where they found, or really his brother found them. They noticed on his brother a sort of blackish, dark, shadowy chain that was attached to him and sort of looked to be digging into him. Potentially, they thought that maybe this chain was what was causing him pain. A fight ensued, and is still ensuing. But towards the end of this fight, at the end of the last session, Minji and Dog noticed, really everyone noticed, but there was a sort of black ichor that was coming out of Dekosi's mouth whenever he would sort of growl or grumble. And Dog and Minji being so close, Minji looked at this and she thought to herself, well, could this be from the Ancient One's realm? And it was confirmed that it was from the Ancient One's realm. And Dog, being the ever-intelligent gnoll that he is, would like to grapple Dekosi via the dark chain attached to him. And with this latest round of grappling, he grabbed on maybe one too many times. And as Minji noticed the black ichor coming out being from the Ancient One's realm, she also noticed Dog's eyes turning a very similar black with this last grapple. So, let's put on some sick music.
Make it super sick.
All right. So before we get back to...
Drop that shit!
Tenacious D!
So before we get back to the actual fight, I want to take Dog on a journey.
Take him.
So, Dog,
nice knowing you, Dog. Loved you.
he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Not too long ago, you and the SDA went on a little trip to a little tower. Where this tower was at, there was a little heart thing that somehow was a highway to the Ancient One's realm. And on this adventure, you, Mr. Dog, found yourself on the other side alone for a little bit of time there. While there, you happened to die. Momentarily, you came back, but you died. So, you go to grapple Dekosi, and you grab onto that chain because you're like, this right here, this has got some good grip. I can really grip it so I can throw him down, suplex him, all that shit, right? Well, you grab him that last time, and you may have had the feeling, sort of in the back of your neck, just way back in old memory land. Every time you grabbed that chain, you thought of the dark or the Ancient One's realm. But you didn't realize that was what you were feeling. You probably thought you were just a little bit nervous. This is Dekonga's brother. You want to do right by him and, set this man free. Well, this last time you grabbed him, you sort of teleport back in time to where you traveled to that tower and you went to the Ancient One's realm. But it doesn't go how you remember. The SDA don't come through, Pharaoh doesn't come through, and no one's there to save you as the Ancient One's minions fight you and stab you and hit you with their Eldritch Blasts. And you feel this. Actually, roll me a will save.
For the sake of the story, I hope that I roll bad, but
You mean you want to go mine down in this gangbang that's happening?
yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
terrible. That's not terrible. Okay, so I would say, dog, like, you know, when you're dreaming, you can't really tell, like, time doesn't really exist, right? Like, it's sort of just an illusion. So you're sort of living this painful death just constantly for what feels like hours for dog. And now actually roll me a D100. I want to see if something happens. I have an idea. Okay. Interesting. Let me do this. I want to make sure, because it's a big deal. Okay.
My dice are hot, boy.
Okay. So you're in this sort of ever dying state. And sort of in the distance, because remember, the Ancient One's realm is kind of a darkish, blackish, purplish hue, right? In the distance, you see this sort of weird-looking creature with tendrils floating about it, and this sort of giant maw of a mouth. And it's off in the distance, and you see it approaching, and it takes forever. I mean, imagine, like, I don't know, have you ever been to Denver?
Yeah.
So imagine you're in Denver and you see the mountains, right? You can literally see them. They're right there. Now imagine walking to the mountains and how long that would take, right?
God damn.
So you see this creature off in the distance, and it's just this slow approach, this slow dread walk coming towards you. In what seems like days now at this point, it finally reaches you, and with one of its tendrils, it sort of floats it out and touches you on your forehead, and you feel immense pain. Let's see how much immense pain. So, dog, if you could take 16 negative damage, please. And Minji, roll me a perception check, please.
And you said you wanted this.
He's fine. He's fine, right?
You don't know what you need. You don't need this.
So, dog, in this realm, it touches you on your forehead, and you're just like blasted with. Imagine there's this alien with insane intelligence, right? You guys don't share the same language, and it's literally pushing its thoughts into your brain, and they're just like, they don't compute, and they don't compute so fucking much that it's like basically drilling a hole in your brain, right? Minji, you're sort of, and this is all happening within this fight very quickly, right? So Minji, you notice Dog's eyes turned black, and then you see a mark, almost like a slit where Dog's sort of third eye would be, right? You see this mark there, and it's his skin sort of rips to where there's like the ripping of a third eye. No eye in there. It's just it's like a sort of a vertical slit in his forehead. And Dog, you sense this being's thoughts just pouring into you, and you can't comprehend them right now, to be honest. It's just like boom, 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 boom.
I was gonna say, is there any like bits or pieces of it that I can like pick out?
So right now, I think what's gonna happen is you're going to be sort of deciphering this go forward. But right now, you can pick up on a few emotions. There's like this insurmountable rage. that's something you haven't really felt before. Like, you've been angry, you've sort of felt the aura of other creatures' anger. Like, you're a monster hunter, right? Like, sometimes monsters get really fucking angry and you can sense that. This is like that to a god's level, right? And then you can sense like this. And what's scary is you sense this rage, but then you also sense this sort of optimistic, like, happiness. And then you black screen. So, Minji, you notice this slit, this sort of vertical opening of skin on Dog's forehead. What do you want to do?
I have a question because I've kind of been thinking about it. Like, how did this all go down? Did I notice this as I'm making the connection?
You could probably here's how it's happening in my brain. You notice the black ichor on Dakosi's mouth, kind of coming out of his mouth, and you're like, that looks oddly Ancient One-esque, right? And then Dog goes in for the grapple, grabs the chain. You look at the chain, it's dark. You're like, that could be potentially a mechanism of the Ancient. When you're just kind of connecting dots in your head, right?
Right.
He grabs the chain. You look at his face, and you see his black eyes. That's sort of the chain of events. And then after you see his black eyes, yeah, so it goes ichor, he grabs the chain, his eyes go black. About half a second later, the vertical slit of rip in his skin in between his eyes.
Some of the goo gets in her mouth, Dog.
Nah, there's no goo in it. The goo is on Dakosi. It's not even over here yet.
Why is it salty?
Why is it so salty?
Gross. Y'all are all gross. 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 My thought is trying to get into Dog's head. Strictly because we know that, like, Dog has some trauma around his last Ancient One experience.
Hell
I
yeah.
literally just thought, like, this looks like Ancient One, and like, mind games is not
No, yeah.
That
I mean,
makes
we
it
don't
sound
like
really
we're in bullshit land right now anyway, right? So like
this is a spell that I have, but I kind of want to try and get in his head.
Yeah, of course.
And disrupt if there's anything. And I don't know if there's like a connection or if it's just like this dude is about to have a PTSD episode and I am riding his shoulder.
Yeah.
I need him to not lose his shit right now.
No, I'm with you. I love it. So actually, if you don't mind, roll me a will save.
Me or him?
You.
Oh God.
Knew this was happening.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so you just take 12 negative damage, please. So you lock minds with Dog, right? And your intention, you think that like there's something going on with Dog. Clearly, some outside presence is fucking with him, right? So it's like your goal is to lock minds with him and essentially like sort of buffer whatever's happening. So you lock minds with Dog, and for you, it's just a very quick moment, but you go straight to that moment where Dog is being touched on his forehead from the Ancient One, and you're in that moment instantaneously, you feel the drill basically go into your brain, and then you go black. Everyone else roll me perception checks, please.
Can you unpause the game for me?
There you go.
Thank you.
And really, we have the wrong music for this right now. We should be fucking playing this music.
I can't even hear anything.
I've got it pretty low so I don't blast you guys out, but
Gotcha.
you can turn it up if you need to. All right, let's see what we got. We got 17, we got 25, we got a 17. Okay, so Dukonga and Toby, you don't really notice anything. I think Dukonga, you're not really distracted, but you're kind of focused on your brother right now, right? And I think Toby, you're probably just too far away to really notice.
Makes sense.
And Yuko, honestly, fuck, okay. I forgot, guys, but remind me. The teamwork crystals, are they on or off right now? They're off,
They're off.
right?
I think we didn't reset them this time around.
No, they were off,
Yuko,
so.
you were so lucky.
Oh yeah. The one time that clutch
Oh, man.
didn't happen.
Okay, so Yuko,
Is that in the notes?
I
No,
was that it was turned off. I'm pretty sure it was turned off.
I
is.
want to say it was turned off as
Yeah,
well.
that was what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember for certain.
They're in the notes, yeah. Yeah, they weren't re-up.
Actually, speaking of notes, I need to publish that for everybody. Actually, I think it is. Oh, there it is. This one. Copy. Okay, so Yuko, you notice, and I'm not sure how really, being from where you're at, but we'll just animate it and make it make sense, right? So you notice that there's a hesitation in Dog, and you notice Minji looking at Dog's face. And then so you sort of, and we're not going to actually position you like this, but you position yourself fictionally to see Dog's face. You can see his eyes have gone black. You see that moment where the slit in his forehead appears. And you see, Minji, so what did it look like when you did your mind games?
I would imagine just putting, because I'm already like chilling on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like put my hand on like the side of his face
Mm-hmm.
and like just almost like a one-handed Vulcan mind meld sort of look, like just trying to get in
Sweet.
his head.
Perfect. Yeah, so you see Minji reach out, and I don't think we've actually ever seen Minji do this, right?
No, he's never used this before.
Okay, so this
At
is
least in combat.
right. I don't even remember you doing it in the story ever.
Nope.
So you
I've
go-
had it in the back of my pocket.
Just haven't needed a reason, yeah, or haven't had a reason. So Yuko, you see Minji like put out her hand to the side of Dog's face, and then you see her body kind of go limp, and then a moment later you see it go rigid, and she just like bucks, like she's kind of being shocked almost, and then she goes limp again. What do you want to do, Yuko?
Take a look here. I think. What is her stats, real quick? I just want to see what she do roleplay wise from stats.
Yeah, and since we're in bullshit land, if there's some sort of fictional thing that you think Yuko could potentially do, we could just roll with it.
Sure, I'm looking, and I think she's a smart girl, but that's like engineering wise, like crafting wise, like she knows how to make stuff. You know, she's street smart, but she's she's not very wise. So I think in this instance, she would just see like, I don't know what's going on with them. I'm just gonna kick them, and hopefully that wakes them up.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I love it. I was gonna shoot an electric arc at them and wake
Zap.
them up. Zap, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
she
sure.
just like runs up and just like jumps up. And, you know, she has to jump up high because, you know, Dog's a tall dude.
Right, yeah.
And just like does like a flying kneecap into his chin to like wake him up.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. I think it's just like D4 if you're not trained in it. Something like that.
Yeah, just be unarmed. Just the unarmed.
Pow! Oh yeah.
Damn
You know, she just runs up, get the lead out, and just bops him in the chin.
So yeah, Dog, if you don't mind taking that damage, and Minji also take that damage, please.
Sorry guys for the damage.
It's fine. It's fine. It's great.
Damage.
Everything's
Max
good.
damage.
It's all good. It's all good.
Let it ride.
Yuko, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okie dokie.
Oh boy.
Okay. Let's see what I get. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Fuck yeah. So Dog and Minji, if you recall, there was the moment when this creature touched Dog's forehead. Minji, you're sort of witnessing it, but you feel the pain as well. And then that moment ceased, and there was a black. You sort of just faded to black. Yuko, as you kicked them, I feel like there's the moment of contact when you make contact with them, and you said your feelings were you're basically trying to wake them up from whatever's happening, right?
Right. She doesn't get why she sees instinctually like that's not how Dog moves. Something's happening,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know what to do about this, so she just kicks him.
Sure. So remind me, the Sujihara, it's not really like a patron, right? Like the dragon in them. It's not like given from patronage. I guess what I'm looking for is what type of dragon sort of is in the Sujihara heritage.
Well, it's as far as Yuko knows, doesn't know if it's real or not. It's just a
Sure,
story.
I know Yuko doesn't know, but we as viewers know, or at least me as DM knows. I'm remembering it's like a poison dragon. Is it black or green or?
Well, I think it was specifically a toadstool dragon.
Toadstool.
I don't know what those look like.
Let's fucking find out.
But I imagine, at least me personally, like a blackish dragon that like has a bunch of fungus all over it.
Well, let's fucking go with that. That's canon now. Okay. So Yuko, for some reason, this kick takes a little bit more energy out of you. You feel slightly drained. Not like, oh god, I'm exhausted now, but just kind of like, that's weird. It's just kind of like a little, I'm a bit more winded than I thought I would be from that jump kick, right? Dog and Minji, there's that black scene that's in front of you, just sort of blackness, you're floating in the dark. And then you see this creature, this sort of, in the shadows of this darkness, this black dragon with sort of the fungus growing on it. It's got the mushrooms, this sort of like mossy like sticks sort of attached to it, almost like it's of the earth. And you see it, and instead of seeing, you more so feel the presence of the Ancient One still, almost like you're still sort of in its grasp right now. But you see this dragon, and it looks at you, and then it blows a smoke towards you. And as it blows this smoke towards you, you sort of, the black darkness sort of begins to fade, and then you come back to not so much reality as much as the astral plane. So
At least where you were before.
Yeah, you don't wake up in your bodies, but you wake back up spiritually back to the astral plane where this is currently residing. And you see Yuko sort of almost in the Marvel stance of landing right in front of you as she's kind of looking at you, I'm assuming a bit nervous, like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, for sure. You know, she's pretty amped up, but she's definitely like looking back and forth between Dakosi and Dog and Minji.
Right. And yeah, and with that, and it's up to you, D, but do you mind moving to here?
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Of course. So yeah, and with that, Dog, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
So I'm coming back too, right?
Correct. You have come back to, you have full capacity of your mentals and your spirit and all of that happened, but you're right here grappling Dakosi.
So I mean, before I grabbed that, like I had a good grip on this chain, right?
Yep.
And that's what put me into this state.
One can
I mean, and
suspect.
Dog's, in dog's mind, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
one of the first things dog would do was like release the chain.
Okay.
And as he throws it down, he's like reaching at his forehead to see if like that mark is there, like frantically like pawing at his own head.
Yeah, so you paw your head and you can feel the slit. Like it's a deep slit in your forehead and there's blood actually like coming down into your eye now. But you could feel it as you're sort of wiping at it.
Can I do like a will save or something to kind of like figure out like dog is just utterly confused because like he was there a minute ago
And not just
now
just
he's
a
here.
minute ago. Dog felt that shit for like days. Like it's been what Dog would think days since you've been here. It's almost like, I don't know if you're familiar with Naruto, but when fucking homeboy puts
Itachi.
when he puts the genjutsu on you, that's honestly pretty good. And I'm gonna actually leave it up to you, Levi, whether or not, like, how you want Dog to sort of, whether he freaks out or not, whether he figures it out or not.
I feel like in dog's situation, he'd be acting completely on instinct, and instinctually he just knows whatever's in front of him, just bulldoze it, right?
Yeah,
And then whatever that was, he'll deal with it later.
yeah, for sure. It's like we need to get out of the situation so I can figure out what the fuck happened, and the best way to do that is to end it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
right.
sure.
So I think what he would do, instead of like grabbing like he usually does,
Mhm.
he wants to change his grip to two hands and just try to just cleave this thing in two.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's do it.
And I was magic weapon before, right?
I believe
Yes.
so. And just so
I
we
need you
all
to match me up.
remember, Dakosi really has like 3 targets that you can try to go for. Basically, it's going to be like his legs, arms, or chest is kind of how fictionally it's set up. So which sort of location are you going to be aiming at for Dakosi?
No, I'm running into his chest.
Copy that.
I'm still shook. I'm just like,
Yep. Yep.
so I think it's an action for me to switch to the two-hand grip, right? And then that was an attack there.
I'm good with you switching grip just for free. That's fine.
Oh, okay. So I'll do the next one at Matt 2.
On money.
I think that one's actually a miss. I don't know why it's saying it's a hit, because his AC's at 23 and he's not grabbed right now.
Oh, I think I have myself targeted. That's why.
Ah, that makes sense.
There we go.
But let's make sure. Strength +4, train +6, inspired courage +1. I think you don't have the magic wep +1 on there, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's not on.
No, I don't
So
think I
that-
do,
so
because
that
I
should
was just
be a
swinging
hit.
with the oil. Okay.
No, yeah, you do have.
And then I get my 44.
That's right. Where is it? This one. Copy that. So yeah, you choked up on your zip zap, and you just kind of try to go through its chest. I do believe that's only 2 swings though. If you want to make a third action.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the legs.
Can I just want to do a. It's probably a miss, but I'll just.
Hey man, you might crit. You never know.
Was it unarmed attack? I think I can use assurance.
If you're trying to,
With
you're
assurance.
trying to trip him.
Assurance hit.
Kinda
Yeah.
trip.
Let's see. What is dog's assurance?
Sweep the leg.
22. I do believe that will work. So let's see. Where is that? Okay. So yeah, you kick out, knocking him prone. And he sort of like when he falls down, because like the chain sort of digs into him as he hits the ground, the astral ground. So yeah, Minji, you see Dog just kind of go like full aggro mode. What do you want to do?
He's just like frothing at the mouth and just he's not even making
He's
like
frothing, but not with black ichor, all right?
not with black ichor, but like he's just like he's not even making intelligible sounds, just completely feral.
You got the wild
Well,
eyes.
Again, like, I'm along for the ride at this point. So, like, we're gonna try and do anything we can to make this short so I can hopefully get out alive.
Yep.
So I think she would kind of snap back. And she didn't have the same, like, long-ass experience
No,
that
it
Dog
was
did.
an instantaneous moment for Minji, and then you saw
Right.
that dragon scene. That was basically
So we
it.
saw the dragon. She snaps back to this, and it's still weird as fuck, but at least, like, it makes sense. Like, okay, I was here. I get it.
This one makes a
So we're
little
gonna-
more sense.
Right, like, okay, maybe that was some weird astral plane shit. I don't know what's happening, but we're gonna re-up the Inspire Courage. We're gonna use our Assurance for that.
Okay.
So everybody continues to be inspired.
'Cause I am.
And then I'm going to devise my stratagem and utilize my lead the charge ability to maneuver Yuko so that she's gonna be flanking Dekosi and get a hit on him.
Perfect.
That'd be right here or right here.
I
that'd be
think
right
it's
here
here.
now.
That's kind of where I was picturing, but I figured if I just said get the flank.
You go over there.
Get to where you're flanking.
Hell yeah. And then Yuko, you get that free strike.
Oh, right. It was always going to Dog.
I've never done this
new for me.
before.
It's always just watching.
So that's a hit with the flank.
Oh, solid.
And yes, are you aiming at the chest, the legs, or the arms?
Oh, the chest. Yeah, we're
Copy
going.
that.
Just following up on Dog's head.
This guy. So yeah, Yuko, you kind of use Minji's encouragement to get into position. You take a nice chunk out of his chest. I believe that's all for you, Minji.
That's all my actions.
So yeah, Yuko, you're in position now, and it's your turn.
Yeah, so Yuko will she'll recharge her spell strike, and she'll go ahead and use it. She'll
Sounds
use
good. At the chest
doing
again.
this. Yes. Where are we at? Strike. There we go. Ooh, I'll go ahead and hero point. Why
Hell
not?
yeah.
Don't want to waste the big spell. See how
right.
it goes.
There it is.
Better.
That's good.
Very nice. Sweet. So here's the dam for the weapon.
Make sure that's not a crit. So he's down. I think it's not a crit by 1.
It's a shame. What are you gonna do? But,
What are you gonna do?
there's-
Pew
there's
and
the demolish.
So yeah, you hit him
That
with
is
the electric blade, and I believe that was all your actions. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Copy that. So Dekosi is going to stand up, which I do believe triggers an attack of opportunity from Dog.
Why, yes, of course.
Nice.
That is a. That's still not a crit, but it's a hit. Actually, is it?
Say if Yuko's was
Hold
off
on, hold
by
on.
one.
Well, sure, but then he was standing, but he's
Oh yeah,
still
he's done.
flanked.
My bad. My bad.
Hold on, I gotta do math. So he has a 23 AC normally. It goes down to 21 when it's the thingy. So a 30, because you don't have the magic weapon on there, would not. You need a 31. So my math was wrong the last time.
Thank you for the clarification.
I believe that is the correct thing. All right, so are you aiming at the chest still?
Oh yeah, I'm running him through. Like before, Dog was trying to be real respectful. Like, let me just hold him down, so that way,
Conga
you
can
know,
do his thing.
Conga could do his thing. But like now, like just completely feral.
Copy that. So yeah, Dekosi stands up, and then he's kind of tired of you, Dog, just slicing him up. So he's gonna try to kick you.
He can try.
He's gonna miss that one. And he's gonna do a little flurry of bloaties type thing here. So yeah, he gets up and he starts kicking at you, but none of it's really landing.
You still have him prone, so he would get that. He would get +2, but it still wouldn't hit. Just to let you know.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Toby, it's your turn.
Yay! Well, I guess I'll go ahead. Boost my Eidolon. Then we'll just have Maxi attack.
Hell yeah.
Goodness.
That is a miss.
I'm a hero point that.
Copy that.
Use my one for the day. Heyo.
And I forgot to ask, is Maxi, where's he hidden? Legs, arms, chest?
Chest.
Copy that.
Well, actually, you know what? No, Max is gonna go for the legs. Max is gonna go for the legs. He doesn't know what's going on. You know, kind of wanting to respect the Congo's wishes. He sees everybody else going after the chest, like, we're gonna go after the legs. Get some big damage on those legs real quick.
Copy that.
We talked about this. Like, there wasn't, like, doing the talking to Dekosi wasn't gonna work. I thought.
That is
like the whole point, right? So the whole point was like, for flavor, I can talk to him while y'all are, you know, beating the crap out of him.
Right. Just like fictionally.
But it's more like, I'm doing this because I love you,
Right.
kind of thing.
Fictionally, you're subduing him, but mechanically, we're trying to get him down to 0 hit points.
Correct. So
Dog's trying to kill it.
Kill it dead.
yeah, man, Dog's having a panic attack at the moment, so I can't really be mad at him.
Right. So I believe
for
that
it again.
was 2 actions. So you got your third.
Damn, let's go.
Did I get that on the crit earlier?
So actually, I think that that 20 is gonna miss. I think. Yeah, because it's supposed to be. Well,
Should be at 21.
Yeah, it's a
okay. If it's a
20.
21, it does hit.
Yeah,
So
because
that's good.
like we can't put the stuff on the Adolins for some reason.
21. Can you do something for me?
So yeah, you Maxie hits his legs to the point where they're not actually crippled, but they seem. It doesn't seem like he's going to be kicking anybody else.
Aha.
Or charging.
No.
or charging.
No.
Oh damn.
Charging is a different body part. Okay, you would think it's legs. You would think.
You would think it would
But
be
it's
his legs,
not.
correct?
No, it's his hands. He uses those hands as spears.
It's his
Freaking
other
lightning
legs.
spear
All right.
Naruto right there.
Copy that.
Dekonga.
That's hilarious. I am going to 3-action heal. So hopefully the squad gets it. Now I did ask the question. That's really good. I did ask the question.
+15 on there
It's-
too. +15.
For 3-action.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's for everybody in the area. Get your heals up. So I was asking the question last time: is since Dekosi is technically a spirit, is he considered undead, and would he also take damage from that? I don't remember if we talked about that.
I don't think he's gonna take damage, but I'm not gonna say he heals from it either.
Okay. So with the 3-action heal act together, Obani's gonna do her 2 strikes. So first one, second one,
Does it hit?
and the second one's a miss.
Correct.
Copy. And this is going for this is going for the other legs.
Copy that.
Other legs.
And that is it.
Copy that. Okay. So he's you can kind of see the rage there as he can see the wounds that he's been dealing are just getting healed. So in his anger, he's going to attempt to strike back at Dog again. Ooh, almost crit. I'm assuming that hits.
Oh yeah, 27's a hit.
So he
Saw that 20 sneaking up.
He hits you with his spear of the heavens, stabs into you. Dog, he's going to attack again. Oh, there it is.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Oh
He
no!
takes a big chunk out of Dog. He's gonna go in one more time, hoping for no. So he whiffs you on this third one, but he took a big chunk out of you. You can feel sort of your essence of spirit floating away into the astral sea or plane, however you want to call it. And then his other legs.
I
Gonna do
can't
this
stand you.
maneuver.
His other legs.
And he's going to maneuver through these guys. So I believe that's Dog, Minji, Dakonga, and Maxi. Let me draw it out.
That's gonna be so bad. Like Dog dies in the astral plane. He died in the spirit. Like never going back here.
So let's see. It's like this,
Whoa.
and then it's like I gotta make it a big one.
Why is there so many?
This. Okay, so it looks like Maxi misses it. So it's just Dog, Minji, and Dakonga. If you could roll me a reflex save, please. I'm assuming that's Dakonga's, not Obani's.
I don't know why it's oh, I know why. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Good.
I had everybody like
Elected.
articulated, yeah, selected and shit. Regardless.
First thing I did when I logged into the session, I made sure I wasn't logged into everybody.
Like I thought I was good at first, but then I guess not.
So let's see.
Because I had like 5 different different screens pop up for that fucking roll.
So Minji's gonna take full, Dog takes half, and Dakonga takes full.
Damn it. Of course.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, that's right. Oh boy, indeed. However, Dog, it is now your turn, and you have just taken a beating. You went from feeling perfect to feeling nearly knocked out. What would you like to do?
I should have did this earlier. I have Relentless Stalker as a reaction.
Okay. You can follow.
I was just gonna ask though, because I used my reaction when he stood up. So is this a new round or?
It would not be. I don't think
Okay.
you'd be able to use that.
Technicalities.
It would have happened on.
It was
would have happened on
before.
your turn.
Yeah, before the round started over.
Okay, just double checking. But I'm out for blood.
Me too.
One of us is gonna die today again. And I use one action to move. I want to use this action to do the knockdown.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Yo.
Okay. So I believe you get to roll a separate athletics check. Like it doesn't get counted as part of that. Like it says make a melee strike. You did that one. If it hits and deals damage, you can attempt an athletics check. So I think you have to roll for the trip. But go ahead and roll that crit damage. Also,
Okay.
make sure you roll
What if you
crit.
just assure us?
Also roll 8d4 for the fangs, because that crit. And then are you going for its other legs or its arms?
Already caved his chest in?
Yes. Well, you caved in its kicking legs. There's its Surge of the Cosmos legs, aka chest, and then also the arms, which are wielding the spear.
Okay, we're keeping going for the chest then.
Copy that.
And then I'll use my assurance to knock him down.
So the chest is caved in.
Like nasty.
And you knock Takosi prone. I believe that was only 2 actions, so I think you have a third, right?
1 action to move, and then that was a 2 action
Oh, was that a
to
2 action one?
to do the knockdown. Yeah.
I don't think so. It just says action. Is it? Hold
It's
on.
a fighter flourish. For me, it looks like it's a 2 action for knockdown.
Yeah, it's a 2 action.
Okay. Well, I'll believe you. Minji, what would you like to do?
And when I'm knocking him down, I'm just like grumbling and growling about, you won't take me from my pack.
Hell yeah.
I was on another level right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to devise stratagem, lead the charge. We're gonna let Dog have another hit because he's just going for it right now.
Okay.
With Gusta, is this one at Matt?
No, nope.
Always at the top.
It's at the top. From the top. Take
Oh,
it to
yeah.
the top.
From the top, make it drop. That's some wet.
I believe this is a crit, good sir.
Ooh, and he's prone too, right?
All I had to do was sing for you.
And
Give him
roll
that
that
AD4, baby.
Yes, sir.
Good job keeping the audio PG, for that audience.
That's right,
out
for
there.
the kids.
I got you.
Kids might be
Worship
watching
and
this
pray.
in 15 years or something. You don't know.
Wings and pizza.
So
I
what does
said
it
word-
look like, man? As what's it
Aw.
look like as Dog subdues Dakosi?
You're welcome.
Speaking of, let's go back to the adult music.
So like as dog, all that was left was his like other leg, right?
Yeah, his legs, his arms, chest. Fictionally, you can make it whatever you want.
I imagine this is just like a straight chop down to the center of the head, but it doesn't cleave all the way through. But it like he was aiming for the same spot that was on Dog's own forehead, where he got touched by whatever that entity was.
Yeah.
Ooh, spicy.
There you go.
And as he's driving that in, he's just like ratcheting at his weapon, trying to like dig it in as deep as it can, and like he's just digging and digging. Like even though like that's the Kong's brother, like this is beyond Dog at this point.
Yeah, he's in feral mode. So you sort of go for that cleave, and you're digging into sort of the spirit of Dakosi. And the power of your cleave there, it cuts through the chain. And the chain sort of drops to the ground in a couple of different pieces. And it sort of starts to fade away into a blackish mist. Not instantly, but with time. And as that chain sort of falls off of Dakosi, his sort of larger body starts to shrink back to like a normal Dakosi size. And you could see him sort of bent over. And you can see there's like this scarring where the chain was. Like his normal sort of darker chocolate skin is just like black. It's actually blackened there. And he's bent over coughing. And you just see this black ichor that was in his mouth just come spewing out. Not like I guess spewing's a bad word. He's coughing it out. It's like he's coughing out, blood or whatever else. Yeah. Dekonga, what do you want to do? You see your brother.
Yeah, it's kind of like he runs up towards him, like while he's on the ground. And then for flavor's sake, like he like uses his magic to heal and kind of like push out whatever black ichor is still in him if he can, kind of scenario.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's almost like Dekosi's kind of been out partying too much, right? And he's got to just puke it out, bud. Just puke it out. So he's kind of just been over, essentially puking out this ichor. But like normally, when you come across your family here in this plane, you can communicate with them just like you would in real life, right? You talk. It's not like a mental thing. Like you're literally saying these words out loud.
Right.
It's Dekosi, whether he doesn't want to or he can't, he hasn't said anything to you. Like his eyes have gone from that sort of primal rage to more like understanding. They're the eyes of your brother now. But he's not saying anything to you. Like he's communicating with you via his eyes. Like he's like you can feel his love. You can see that he's sort of like shocked and confused, but he's still not talking.
I placed my hand on his chest, basically like looking at where the chains were like, I guess, dug in him.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay, brother. You will be fine. We'll take you back to the ancestral plane.
And
you should not be here.
So so you start talking to him. You got your hand on him, and you see like his mouth moves, and you get the faintest, just like, like he tries to talk, but it's just so fucking raspy. And it's not raspy to the point of like, okay, get this man some water and he'll be fine. It's like roll me a religion check.
I was gonna ask, is something wrong with his tongue? I don't want to hero point that.
Do it, man.
Is it important?
I mean, I don't know. It's up to you.
I know. It's kind of important. Wow, that's the worst.
That ain't it, man. Do you want to ask anybody else to help you out?
If anybody else can, but it's like, can I? It's hard to explain.
Yeah, actually, Minji, I was going to say, if you could, like, for Minji, this would be, because Dekonga's coming at it from his expertise. Minji, would you say you are more like Arcana based or like occultism? Like they're the exact same role, but which one do you think Minji would like? Which lens would she try to view this from? Minji's muted if she doesn't know. If she's even here.
I was here. I was coughing. I didn't want
You're
y'all to
good.
have to listen to me. I was saying that occultism is probably where she would come at it from, just because she suspects the ancient one.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and roll occultism. Very good. Okay, so Dakonga asks, like, what the fuck's going on with him? Like, you could see him trying to figure out why his brother can't speak. So Minji, you get a little bit closer to investigate. Which you are an investigator, so maybe you should have got a better roll. Any hoodle. That's for another day. You can sort of piece together that you think Dakosi can't speak because, like, and this is sort of outside the realm of Minji's perspective, but you think that there's like something spiritually wrong with him right now. Like, you want to call it chi, you want to call it spirit, you want to call it whatever, right? There's an essence to a person. And right now, right, his chakra is essentially blocked to where his sort right, he's sort of been chained up like this for so long that it's just like it's gonna take time. You don't think that it's irreversible, like you think that there will be a time when Dakosi can speak, but right now it's just like that is sort of blocked off to him right now.
He's got to clear his energies again. His throat chakra needs to get cleared, and that's going to take some time, Dakonga.
This specifically, we're not in the Umbaso like plane, spiritual plane, right? We're in this other one.
I think you are. We
pulled him from that dark area.
Well, so he ended up in the Umbaso plane, which was how your ancestor noticed him. It's just that chain and sort of the presence of the Ancient One was foreign to the Umbaso plane, but somehow made its way here, potentially you guys think via Dakosi.
Okay. So, like, looking at my brother, kind of get him by his shoulders and say, first thing first, like I give him a hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he reciprocates that hug.
And then I said, brother, were you judged yet by our family? Yes or no?
He kind of looks at you and you see tears start to well up in his eyes, and he just shrugs.
I still have the whistle, right?
You do.
Is there a possibility to set things right? Dakonga wants to call on like the council of elders of his people at this spot to finish the passing over of family members to basically come home afterwards. Is that a possibility? Could this assist in the healing of Dakosi?
Roll me a religion check, because I think we'll see what you roll. We'll see if you get lucky, basically, on like timing wise right now. That's pretty good. So basically what I was trying to figure out was, like, since sort of your communication with your ancestors is like astrologically based, sometimes you just can't reach them, right? Because the stars just aren't in alignment, essentially. However, you are lucky enough that you will be able to communicate. You called it a council? What was it called?
Yeah, the Council of Elders, basically, of our ancestral people.
Sure. So by some miracle, you do feel the presence of the Council of Elders, and you think you could summon them. Now, if they'd be able to assist with the healing, we don't know that yet.
That's fine. Like, looking to my friends, my brother needs to be judged in order to be healed truly. I must call on the council of our people, of our ancestors. Please stay by me while I do this. You are my family now. And I look to Dakosi and I says, are you ready?
He wipes a tear away from his face and nods.
Good. I step away, and I start doing like a small chant. I will use the whistle because the whistle will probably get their attention faster.
Yeah, sure.
But then once I use the whistle, great ancestors, I call upon you. My brother, Dekosi Umbaso, is here to be judged the proper way. He was taken too early by savages. Please be merciful. Dekosi, come. Bow to your family. And then Dikonga bows as well with him and waits for a response.
So yeah, it doesn't take long. For a moment though, so Dekosi and Dekonga are bowing. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Oh, Bonnie's up there with us too,
Sure.
since she's our auntie.
Like, did everyone else kind of position themselves out of the way? Like, what are you sitting down? What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, Yuko would have kind of just sat down on the ground, showing deference, but she would be staying out of the way.
Sure.
Dog is like trying to get back to his normal state, and he's sitting down just.
Yeah, I think Dog's still a little feral. He's like, all right, you guys do whatever the fuck you want to do over there. I'm gonna be in my head for a little bit.
Like, if anything, Dog's like ready to go. He's like, I'm done with this place.
Yeah.
Can I scratch him behind his ears again?
Yeah. Yeah, Dog, so Minji's trying to calm you. Do you notice it? Are you going to allow Minji to kind of calm you down? Should we roll diplomacy, see if that's a thing? It's up to you, but if you want to let the dice decide it, that's fine too.
Yeah, let's leave it to the dice.
Yeah, Minji, go ahead and roll a diplomacy. Let's see how Dog takes your calming tactics.
I'm gonna re-roll.
It's a 6. Oh, okay. She gonna hero point this shit. Let's do it. That's a lot better. 27. What do you think, Dog?
No, he's starting to like steady his breath, and he like just loosens his grip and drops his weapon, and like he's almost like blubbering, like he's still trying to get help, but like where he was, he didn't want to be.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess Minji's in her head. I don't even know if she's nice, but she also knows I'm riding the dude around this whole battlefield. I cannot have him falling apart.
Yeah.
But she also knows that part of his issue. We just had our bonding moment of the issue is my pack abandoned me, I almost died. Y'all didn't care.
Yeah.
So I need him to know I stayed with you this whole time, bro.
Yeah, also you sort of witnessed what was freaking him out. You weren't there for the entirety of it, but some real fucked up shit happened to Dog just now.
Right, I'm here, and that she's not saying all of this, but just trying to remind him through the fact that hey, I'm still sitting here on your shoulder, able to scratch your ears. So whatever just went down, I clearly have been here this whole time. You were never alone.
Yeah, for sure. So the rest of the guys, the pack, the SDA are kind of to the side as the Umbaso are sort of kneeling and waiting for their ancestors.
I feel like when they come, Travis, the scene changes. It becomes this beautiful, lush, valley area. Trees, waterfalls. It's
more of an oasis in the desert.
It's more like an oasis within the desert, and then, specifically where we are, we're on this little island where there's stone. It's raised stone, kind of table, and then around us obviously fresh, cool water. So now there's like a light breeze, and then like see at first like the essence of the spirit, and then like the physical projection of the body, of spiritual body of our ancestors, our old chiefs come into view.
I think what happens first is your guys' spirits kind of get moved to the oasis, which is a weird feeling for those sitting down. Like you were sitting in the desert type of thing, and then now you're like sitting on cool grass next to a stream. How that works,
Right.
who knows? But
I don't get it. I'm rolling with it.
yeah. But the Conga, like you notice the elders, they actually kind of, it's like the constellations around you start to move. So it's like the stars literally start coming towards you, and then those stars start to morph into like their physical beings as they kind of land around you guys in the stone table that you were talking about. So yeah, what do you say to them? They're kind of just standing there looking at you, waiting for you to, I guess, sort of state your business.
Great, merciful elders. I'm here on behalf of my brother, Dikosi, who taken and tainted some vile creature. Savages murdered him, and he is yet to be judged by our family and welcomed home. Dikosi, but speak as of this moment, because he is plagued and tormented. Please be merciful. We are your children.
One of them holds
Ask
up.
only for mercy.
One of them holds up a hand, and bring him forward.
Dikosi. Help him stand up.
Sure. So he takes your help and moves forward with you. And the one that, I'm assuming you approached the one that held up their hand.
Yeah, I picture this like table being kind of like almost like a half crescent moon. So there's like, so we kind of like walk within the crescent of it. So they're kind of around us.
Sure, yeah.
So like he's probably the one within the middle, and then like I'll let Dikosi take a few more steps ahead of me while I behind.
Sure, so yeah, Dikosi...
Each one of our family members actually recognizing them too.
Right.
From like old stories and stuff.
So Dikosi approaches the one that was speaking, and get closer. Dikosi approaches closer, within like arm's length, and you see the elder kind of forcefully, not like aggressively, but just like, you know, they're old and you're young and this is just how it is, right? So like forcefully grabs Dikosi's like chin, and just kind of like with the other hand taps him on his forehead, runs his hand like very forcefully, like examining, almost like not too much to the point where it's like you're examining livestock, but just to where it's like, you are, you know, my offspring essentially, and I need to make sure that you're going to be okay. You know, where it's like if your dog is eating something they shouldn't, you're just like, get that shit out of your mouth. That sort of force, right? Like there's not that there's no love here, it's just like they're very thorough. So this elder is sort of essentially examining Dikosi, and they look at you, Dakonga. What happened? What happened to him?
Someone has tainted his soul. We have done what we can with my pack, my new family.
I have never seen such a magics here. It is.
We have.
It is more
the dark
powerful.
powers.
It is more powerful. I do not like it. Do not understand it. You said you've seen it. What is it?
Dark energies corruption from these towers. that are around our land.
The Ancient One?
So I have heard. We have dealt with it before. We have vanquished what we could, but they are very powerful.
It is a sad time the Ancient One touches our Umbaso plane. Your brother, we must judge him, but I believe his spirit should make a recovery.
Thank you.
So how does this Umbaso sort of judgment happen? How does this work?
I want to say it's pretty close to the Egyptian kind of way, you know, the scale against the feather, but it's more along the line of kind of like did they honor the family? Did they, you know, live life to the fullest? Did they practice the ways of Ogun, you know, crafting and following in those footsteps, things like that. But
okay. Yeah, perfect. So the elder's like, Dukonga, step back please. And
step back towards Obani.
They motion for Dakosi to kind of get towards the more center of that crescent moon. And then they all start to chant like an Umbaso hymn, and they hold out their right hands. And you see sort of these, basically they look like stars, are like lines of stars are sort of popping out of their palms towards Dakosi. And there, how many elders are there for this council?
Probably 8.
8 of them? Okay. So you see these 8 different lines of stars coming from all their palms, and the stars go towards Dakosi, and they begin to spiral around him. And it's sort of
Baba is the only female one.
Copy that. And
she's the only one.
Basically, it's like it's essentially scanning him, just going over his history of what he did, and you know, making sure that he's fine in the Umbaso way and all that. And you know, like the stars right now are sort of a whitish light. You know, if they find any sort of wrongdoings, they'll turn like a darker color, essentially like describing it as corrupted. So for a moment, your heart is kind of like, it skips a beat, Dukonga, because there was a time when like communication between you and your brother was sort of interrupted, right? Like there's a reason why you weren't with him when he was murdered, and you don't know how it happened, right? So like there's a moment when you're like, well, fuck, there's, you know, a time in my brother's life where I don't know why he was murdered, right? Maybe he got caught up in something outside the Umbaso way. So there's a slight sort of just, you're not 100% sure. You're hoping that everything's going to be fine, but you don't know. However, that moment passes. The stars continue to circle around Dakosi, and after that, they sort of stop their circle, and the stars come back towards the elders and go back into their palms. And it passes.
Dukonga drops to his knees, just
I think Dakosi does too. I think like you can tell your brother is like he understands what's happening right now, but you know, like you could kind of feel it in him that Dukonga just knows instinctually that Dakosi doesn't understand what that chain was, or why it was on him, or what the fuck was happening and how he got here, right? Like all that prior to essentially the chain coming off of him, you know
Uh-huh.
instinctually that he doesn't know what the fuck happened.
Got you. Yo, so I kind of have this thought process with the stars and how like they were scanning them, and like I feel as though to keep the connection to Ogun, like after it scans, it turns into like a almost like an ore, and depending on its purity is depending on like if he, you know, if it's like rusted and horrible, like his soul was unpure and corroded and stuff like that, or if it became into this like pure form of either steel or some like spirit ore or whatever. Like that's how they know like he lived a good life and stuff like that, and it could be used as spiritual weapons for the family and so on and so forth. I think that'd be kind of cool if we had that effect of those stars that they pull out.
Yeah, so let's retcon that. Let's take it back to the stars did not return to the elders. The stars, after scanning Dakosi, it's not exactly like DNA, but you can sort of imagine like the double helix of the stars going around Dakosi.
Yeah.
And then they sort of start to float up and over and off of him, and then all the stars start to come together in front of him, and it's sort of just this bright ball of light as more and more of the stars approach there. And as part of this, you see like one of the last stars remaining sort of transforms into like a blacksmith's hammer, and it kind of floats right by Dakosi's hand. And he grasps it, and he breathes in deep, and he slams down the hammer onto the bright light, and you hear a nice clang. Like you're, as a blacksmith or a soulsmith, however you want to, you know, as a craftsman, you can tell the difference when a hammer hits like good metal versus shit metal, right?
Yeah.
There's a different sound and sort of reverberation to it. And you sort of feel it in your soul here, like it's good.
Yeah, I feel like after like hitting to my knees, and then like Dakosi looks back, probably tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. The first thing I want to do is like run to him, but like to be, I guess, like an obedient child to the elders, like I stay in place and wait for their final words of judgment before they like release us, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure like the star, the bright big star, probably once it gets hit, you feel that reverberation, and it's like it sort of morphs itself into almost like an ingot of some sort of spiritual metal.
Right.
And the elders look at it, smiling, nodding. They're like, good. Well, if there's nothing else, we should go now.
Yeah, peace.
To Konga, before we go, you must,
lifting up my head.
you need to figure out how this got here and what it means for us.
Of course. I will do anything I can to protect the Umbaso
We expect
and my
you-
family.
We expect you to figure it out, and we expect you to fix it.
Head to the ground. Of course. By my life.
Good. Well,
Then looking at Obaba and just smiling at her.
she just smiles back.
And then stand up, go to my brother, hold him in my arms, and then look at the elders and say, be well. Be at peace. The Umbasos are on the hunt. for this darkness.
So as you were saying all of that, they kind of were just like fading back into the cosmos. And by the time you were done with that statement, they were gone.
That's a fucking cool ass scene.
That was really dope.
That was super cool.
And I feel like in that moment, kind of like both like Dikonga and like Obani, and then even Umbasa would just like raise up the weapons that they have and just like just be excited and everything.
Yeah, sure.
And kind of like dancing in that area. And then like going up to like Yuko, hugging her, going up to Dog and Sam, bless you, brother, bless you. And then going up to Toby and like picking him up and just being excited. And then Obani and like even Dikosa probably goes up to Dog and then just kind of does that whole anime thing and then like fist to the chest, kind of like that warm feeling of like, you saved me.
Yeah.
You know?
So Dog, how do you react? Like, there was a moment when you grabbed the chain that was on this man. It sent you to a place that you never wanted to go to again, where an incredibly powerful creature drilled into your brain, and once you came back, you were so feral that you wanted to kill this man, essentially. And then he comes up and thanks you. How does Dog take that?
I feel like it's a very bewildering feeling. Like, obviously, from Dog's point of view, like, this guy that he just attempted to kill, like, in Dog's mind, because, like,
Yeah.
the whole astral plane for Dog is, like, a completely different place. And like Dog is like, this guy's just thanking me for killing him. Like I was just there with the ancient one. Something was drilling in my brain. So even though like the Kosi's like being real chill with him, like Dog's just blank. Like he's still trying to come back to it. He's got Minji sitting there like scratching his ear, letting him know that he's there, but like him and Kosi aren't there yet. So he just kind of nods. He doesn't return the fist bump, but he just gives him like a very short nod. Like, you're welcome, but I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and after like tears and joy and everything, like Dikonga's like, good, claps his hand and like fades out, and everybody wakes up.
Actually, I was gonna say before.
And done.
I was gonna say before he takes us out of it, Yuko was actually gonna ask him something.
Okay.
She was gonna come up to him and say, "Hey, Gigi, is this place? Is it only your ancestors that can be seen?"
No. Since you are a part of my family, we should be able to see yours. We just have to find the right bridge.
And yeah, she gets this just huge smile. Says, "Well, if we can come back sometime, I'd like that."
Of course. And he just like hugs you. We will find a way. I will find anything for you.
All right, I need the two of you to roll D100s, please.
D100s.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Did we hit the limit? Did we do it?
What are the fucking odds?
That's fucking amazing. All right, so Dikonga, you're so happy right now, right? You saved your brother. You sort of provide this solace to Yuko, and you're excited for the opportunity that, like, yeah, we can, potentially, make it so that you could communicate with your ancestors as well, right? Like, that excites Dikonga. Like, you think that would be really cool for her.
Yeah.
So Dikonga, you go in to hug Yuko, and you receive his hug, and as he's hugging you, you hear your mother's lullaby.
Is it just Yuko, or does everyone hear it?
Just Yuko.
Okay.
Oh, what a cliffhanger it was.
Yeah, she doesn't break the hug from Dikonga, but she's definitely like looking around, very like, where's she at?
Yeah. you can't really get a sense of like a direction.
Yeah, she's not spiritually aware in any sense.
No. And actually, roll me a perception.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be the 20.
Almost there.
Dude.
Nice. Looking cool.
So yeah, so you don't get a sense of the direction, but you do think that right now Dakonga is sort of the connection that's allowing you to hear her lullaby.
He's the bridge.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, no, she just kind of hugs him tighter, says, thank you, Gigi.
Of course, my daughter. Let us go home
And yeah,
and
Dakonga,
celebrate.
you didn't notice it at all. So
No, I didn't. No, that's why I'm just like, all right, cool. Let's,
Yep.
He's all amped up.
it's time to go get shit faced.
right.
That's pretty much it. So yeah, like after the embrace, he's like, I hope everyone is ready. And then like bloop.
Sure, you clap your hands.
I love that. That's
And
great.
you guys head back to the land of the living. In Dakonga, I'm sure you're roused awake faster than anyone else, as you're much more attuned to this. But the rest of you guys sort of slowly come to, and you're pretty tired, actually. Dakonga, you actually feel a bit tired as well. You know that like summoning your ancestors and stuff like that sort of takes it out of you a bit. But you also realize that using that whistle to sort of summon your brother, there's a bit of a cost to it. Not like you're gonna lose your fucking soul, but it does tire you out for sure.
Like so much to where like after everybody wakes up, I'm like, I think I should go to, and then pass the fucking.
It can if you'd like. Yeah, I mean, it's,
That could be
Dakonga
funny.
sleeps for
Like
3 days.
like literally like right before he like completely like falls down, he sees Dikosi just smiling and shaking his head, and then it's all like, yeah.
yeah, because I mean,
It's
you've never used this whistle before, right? Like it's
Yeah.
a first thing or a first time for you. So yeah, you're come to Dakonga before you pass out, and you sort of you make sure everyone's good, and like it's almost like once you realize the rest of the SDA are here and fine, that's really when it hits you, and you kind of just slump over.
nice.
You go, I would assume help her aunts get Dakonga to bed.
Right, yeah. So everyone needs to help fucking carry Dakonga. But you guys
Just a slab of fucking 200 and something pounds
Right.
dwarf.
fucking Dwarven Umbaso. Yeah, so sick. That was fucking awesome. That
Hell yeah.
was the Dakosi mission. So basically, I'm going to give you guys like fictionally it doesn't make too much sense because you didn't really harvest like crystals or soul shards, but I do want to say that when the chain popped off, that once it sort of disintegrated a bit, it did there was almost like spiritual soul crystals in that realm that you were able to bring back. So that will be in the amount of sorry. That is a CL6 soul shards worth.
Lovely.
Are they negatives because of it was from the chains?
Actually, yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But correct. It is a CL6 negative.
Are you writing it out in the chat?
Hell yeah, I am.
Okay, I didn't know I was gonna put it in there if you weren't.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hello? Enter? Go? Why isn't it? Oh my god, look at all those!
We have 3 CL6s. Yes.
No!
One for each leg.
That's right. Hell yeah. I mean, we've only got like 6 more minutes, so we don't have to get too far deep into all the other stuff. But if you guys want to do anything RP, anything else out real quick, that was awesome.
That was a dope one.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I really like Dog's arc and that whole deal.
Yeah, that was cool to add that too, man, to give it some trauma. Like I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I just enjoy, and this is strictly like Maggie's headcanon about Minji, but like she unknowingly went up against the Ancient One and didn't completely lose her mind. That means I'm very cool.
That's right. Now there may have been a
Turtle.
dog's brain buffer between the two of you, but yeah.
That's why I said
That just-
Maggie's headcanon about Minji.
That just made me think, like, if I can open up Yuko's like ancestry plane, and then realizing that with Dog, like you said that with Dog, like once he's banned from the like his original pack, he can't meet them on the other side. But I'm wondering, like, what if he could, since he's a part of like now my family, like can he come into my plane afterwards, so that he has like
Something
that.
very interesting to explore.
And that's what I was thinking, is like something that now he has a place and a home and a family afterwards, so that he can be the truest warrior that he wants to be now. Because he has a place for his spirit to go to instead of just the nothing and wandering alone. That could be interesting too.
Yeah, I think
And that's like one of the reasons why the pack is so important to Dog, because he knows once he passes and goes beyond, his pack isn't going to be there for him. So
Okay.
one of Dog's biggest fears is to be alone, and this instance where he was alone with the Ancient One for that, like what felt like days or years or months.
right.
That's Minji bringing him back from that fear. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely, if that's something that we want to explore with Dog, like if Dog is like interested in the idea of that, then yeah, we could definitely dive into that for sure.
Oh, I'm for it. If Dog's for it, that'd be awesome.
Cool.
I love it.
I'm just waiting now. Now, this is way far down the road when you guys have lived long, amazing lives. But that, like, at the end of the show, it's going to be the SDA all dead, but hanging out in the Umbaso Plains.
That'd be funny. That'd be awesome.
If we all make it that far, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
that'd be a sick ending to the show, you know, where it's like you guys have died, but you guys are kind of just hanging out at like the Oasis in the Umbaso astral plane, you know?
Well, it'd be crazy though, because like, I feel like the first one, I would be the last one to come there. I'm a
I was
dwarf.
gonna say like it would be.
So, like,
Well,
It's like it's a
yeah.
good thing we went and saved Dakonga's brother, because otherwise we wouldn't know what was up. But now it'll be like, oh, I remember this place. All right, let's go chill under this tree and just wait
Well,
for
and
everybody
I
else to
think-
show up.
I think it would have to be a decision made by the character, the person, and then there is also probably going to have to be some sort of like Umbaso, not like they're not
There's
like
definitely
converting
gonna have
you
to be
to a
a-
religion, but you have to go through something so that they accept you and they're like bringing you into their holy place, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
you would
like-
definitely have to be judged by the Nglasu, like Elder Tribe.
Right, you'd
Yeah, we
get
would have to do what
judged,
just
you do all
happened.
kinds of shit, yeah.
the only person I'm worried about right now is Minji.
I was gonna say, yeah, they wouldn't like my soul. Look, I'm okay. I just want to not have to hustle forever, okay?
Yeah, maybe Minji
Right.
gets allowed, like, you know, a little bit of time. She could come every once in a while.
I mean, you
That was
have to
awesome,
worry about
dude.
Dog
worry
does
about
not
Yuko
live the
too,
Ogun life, man.
Yeah, no, I think everybody would have a rough go, maybe.
Ogun is not just a god of the forge; he's also a warrior. So
Okay.
you would
Well,
you would actually be welcome into that.
He would like me then. I'm a great strategist. Let me show you, Mr. Warrior, some good strategies here.
Yeah, I don't think that they would necessarily like decline people for like who or what they worshipped. I think it's like it's
just according to your own words and deeds.
Yeah, it would kind of be
Pretty
like
much.
if you get invited to the cookout, then you're good, right? Like it's like if
There's a
you're
little
not,
bit more to it,
well,
but
yeah, but it's like okay, so you're not an Umbaso born and raised, but you're like an Umbaso accepted, like extended
soul.
family member,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Like you're an accepted soul. So it's like in that sense, you're sort of judged a little bit differently to where it's like you don't have to, worship Ogun or be a crafter and all that sort of shit, but you will be judged in a sense of just like the
your deeds
overall
to the
right.
impossible, basically.
Exactly. More so your deeds to the Umbaso and to just like life in its whole, like are you a
Yeah, I'm
murdering
down with
asshole?
that.
Then yeah, maybe you're not gonna make it. Did you maybe do some fucked up things, but your heart was in the right place? And I think the biggest thing for the Umbaso will be, were you cruel? I think cruelty would probably be like a big no-no, but outside of that, I think you can kind of explain away a lot of situations. But we could see what happens down the road with all that.
Hell yeah, I'm down with playing around with that idea.
Nah,
Build
I
up.
always dig the metaphysical aspect of campaigns, so I'm all about it, or lore settings.
The funniest thing for this is when Yuko gets her revenge. And then there's that ending sort of that character arc, and then the new arc of, okay, if we go down this, everyone's going to go to Umbaso heaven. How is Yuko going to earn her stripes into that?
Oh man.
Yeah, 'cause
Well,
she's
technically, she's already a part of it. So, like, if
Well, sure,
I
but
guess
she's
when
like,
she first came in,
but there's levels to this shit, right? Like,
oh, there's definitely levels, but like the fact that she's not only an older sister to the young ones, but she's also the daughter to Dikonga, and then like she's probably saved Dikonga quite a few times. Again,
yeah. And to be honest,
Baba,
like,
Baba already told me I'm not the warrior.
I honestly, and this may be getting a little too deep right now, but I honestly think that depending on how it plays out, I would think that Yuko's revenge would be warranted in the eyes of the Umbaso. I think that they'd be like, you have claim on that man's soul, essentially.
Yeah, but we won't know that until we get to that point.
Right, we don't know that.
Right.
We don't know that.
So like
And we'll
that
see,
that'll be
but-
a really cool like thing to, especially like an in between like Yuko and Dikonga and like the Umbaso family and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because even though Yuko doesn't have our name, the name is like etched on her soul already. Like the Umbasos know of her.
Because she would be, that meant she'd be end up judged by two different sides of her family. Effectively, her original family was judges on a different scale. They judge differently from the Umbasos, and then how the Umbasos do their thing. That'd be interesting to get to. Whenever
That
we
would
get
be
to it.
awesome to see like this like combination of like planes, each like judged like heads of each family and stuff like that, and they all judge this one child based off of each.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
And like we are like kind of like lawyers, like, yo, but she also did this. There's a reason why she had to go down this route.
Well, because when you
Rubenstein.
think about it, like we're talking about, okay, can Yuko talk to her mother? And it's like, yeah, we just need to bridge it. It's like, okay, well, where is the bridge going, right? So there's
fair.
a destination at
That's
the
a
end of
good
that
question.
bridge where like her mother is currently residing. And it's like, all right, who else is there right now? You know?
Oh man,
man, and then, like-
this is gonna be crazy.
Like what if the young blood's mother
Don't
was
say it.
killed for a reason? You know what I'm saying? What if this revenge on the young blood's mother was for a higher purpose?
Like, what if the revenge is unwarranted?
No, what if the revenge was completely warranted?
You mean
Oh,
for Yuko's mom being killed?
Yeah, what if the reason that Yuko's mom was killed, like on a grand scale of things, it was supposed to happen, and Yuko seeking revenge for it is gonna like unbalance the scale?
I don't
Star
know,
Wars, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
I'm gonna bring us all back down to earth a little bit because I have another like.
Take us out of that metaphysical
question.
shit.
No. Yeah, Minji is over it. Like this is more weird vibes. Like she doesn't have the language for all of this, except that your chakra, your throat chakra is locked. You can't talk.
Vibes are bad, bro.
Bad vibes.
They're bad.
We don't talk to them if their vibes are bad. Would she know the connection between the fungus dragon and Yuko, or is that just like a weird part of the vision that she had?
All right, this is DM to player. This isn't Minji knowledge right now, okay? It was sort of made known that Yuko's eyes had turned to dragon slits that one moment. So you could potentially connect the dots there.
Okay.
When Yuko received her Sujihara gift, that was after when was that exactly? Because you went and saw your father's tombstone. Was it right after that, or
that?
I think that it was
directly
right
after
after
that,
that, right?
Mhm.
So did Yuko didn't share any of that, right? Like Farrell knows a slight bit just because she's kind of part of it, but I don't think the SDA know much about your connection with dragons except for her eyes had turned to dragon slits.
Right, and as far as I understand, no one told Yuko that her eyes did that. She doesn't know that. She knows she had a change. She knows that something happened to her, but no one told her like, "Yo, your eyes went real weird." So that's not like she wouldn't have thought to even have talked about that.
Dog did have the conversation with the Conga about the dragon slits, though.
Yeah, we had a whole thing.
But
So
but
Yuko
no one
wouldn't
talked-
have explained it though.
No, she wouldn't even like from her perspective, the dragon story is barely like a folk tale
Sure.
that like her grandpa told. It was like a bedtime story, basically. It's basically just a folk tale of her clan's origins. It's not really something she even thinks about. Like it wouldn't have even come to her, even if they had asked about the dragon eye thing. It would have taken her a moment to really remember that,
Gotcha.
because there are several folk tales. And for her they're all bullshit. She's like, I don't even think anywhere else exists other than this city, as far as she's concerned. She thinks they've always been there.
Right. Well, I mean, it's been many generations really that have only known the city, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, to her, she's just like, it's some nonsense that my grandpa's talking about, used to talk about.
Yo, this city is like Blaze in the Dark, right? Like it's closed off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like essentially it's bless you. Outside of the city, there's all the Ancient Ones sort of corruption. Which is why they tried to lock it down and only monster hunters really get to leave, so it's like sanctioned hunts, and no one else gets to leave just because it's too dangerous. Also, I don't know if you guys really know this, but it's also basically sanctioned off so that no one can really learn about the Ancient One.
Or you don't want to cause a mass panic or
it's kind of forbidden knowledge. We like as players and as I sort of know, but you guys don't know whether or not that knowledge is forbidden because of they want to not panic people, or there are factions that are potentially protecting the Ancient One.
maybe trying to control it.
Yeah, you don't know what the actual purpose of that is. officially, but yeah. But to go back,
That's
yeah.
well above Yuko's pay grade. Shoot.
Exactly. And literally too, like you guys will probably have to get up to the upper crusts, you know, the higher layers of the city itself, to really get to those answers, because you guys are in the underbelly. But yeah, Minji, I don't think that you would connect Yuko to that dragon instantly.
Okay. That totally makes sense. I just wanted to make sure that I was thinking about it the same way you were.
Sure, like in the sequence of events, you know, you blended with Dog's mind. You saw what he saw for a moment. It went black. A dragon breathed smoke on you, and as you came to, Yuko was sort of crouched in front of you after she kicked you. So, I don't know. You know,
Minji is an investigator.
yeah, Minji is an
Connect something in the
investigator,
mind.
and if you want, you can maybe what's that fucking thing called?
Pursue a lead.
Yeah. Is it Pursuer Lead? On the Case? What is this?
One of those, yeah.
Whatever the fuck
On
that.
the case, this is
There's
what I
on the
have.
case.
Something
and there's
really
also-
cool.
Yeah, if you want, you can, you know, essentially state that Minji is sort of pursuing that lead.
Yeah, like I kind of want to bring in my sister, because if you looked at my stuff, I know you did, but she's kind of like the John Wick of the family. And she's the one that actually, in the backstory, she's the one that actually finds the murderers that killed Dikosi, and she actually made him have happy accidents. In the story, at least.
Maybe. We may have to retcon that. They may
Retcon
still be
it.
alive right now.
Retcon it. I'm cool with it, but like maybe like
She
I
could
could
be
potentially.
pursuing them though, you know, and we
That could
could
be
we could go
fun.
talk to her and see where they're at with that, and you guys could potentially help her find them. But I want them to be alive for now.
Oh, okay.
And have more story, bro.
More revenge.
I got you. I accept it. But like I kind of want to, because she knows about like how to hunt things down, follow leads. She's a part of like the dark society, so like maybe she also knows stuff about the dragon for like Yuko, and that could be like something that
I
potentially
don't know, man. That
Dikonga, like,
shit is pretty fucking secretive. Like, it's like no one really knows the Black Fist, and it's like even deeper than that.
oh wow.
Yeah, the Sujihara are. I mean, they're a family that not everyone knows, and it's like the secrets of that family. Yeah, it's some deep shit, bruh. There's
Dodger.
there's fucking layers. But Minji,
There's fucking layers.
we could start pursuing that, and D, if you're good with it, we could sort of talk about what sort of things may be revealed through investigation, depending on how Minji wants to pursue it. If you're good with that.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that'd be cool.
I
Sweet.
think she would be very careful though, because she's already seen like she does really think of Yuko as like a little sister,
Yeah.
and we've already seen how she gets upset if you try and like push her too hard about this stuff.
Yeah, and
So
like
she's curious.
sure,
But it's
and
like-
through like Minji's, you know, the frustrating times of SDA. Really, who did Minji have to rely on the most was Yuko, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
So seeing as how even like right now Yuko feels to be, and this is just from my perspective, I would think that Minji feels as if Yuko is kind of her closest ally. Like through it all, Yuko's been down to ride for whatever the fuck Minji wants to do, you know? So yeah, I could definitely see that Minji wants to approach it cautiously.
Yeah. Like I am not trying to step on
I'm
your
trying to set that
toes.
trigger.
Yeah.
Heavy-handed
Right.
like Dog did.
Right, we're not trying to do like that. It's more like, let's understand each other so that all the cards are on the table. You know what I can do. You know what I bring to the table.
Well, right, and it's like Yuko isn't even completely aware of her power,
Right.
right? So it's
Right.
like
I can help you be even more powerful.
That's right.
Let's be the baddest bitches.
Exactly.
Is
I'm all about
Minji
it.
a warlock patron?
You about to be.
Yeah, it's about to be.
Like a warlock, warlord, badass.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag goals,
I
guys.
forgot what your background was. It was charlatan. Very great. What dedication did we go with? Oh, right, tactician.
All right, then, yeah. I got to bounce.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
GG's y'all on a
GG's.
badass
Yeah.
fucking